So you feel like you don't belong, and the only way that people will accept you is by becoming who they want you to be. Oof, that is tough to go through. And I understand what that feels like to go through, because for a long time I was told by several people in my life that who I was wrong, and I should deny myself of that and become who they thought I should be. They thought that I needed to be more like them because they thought that their path was the only way. For me, it was such a painful experience to go through because I wanted nothing more than to be accepted by them. I wanted to be loved by them because I loved them so much. But I also understood that as long as I remained true to myself, I would never be accepted by them. And I would never truly be loved by those people. I honestly thought about how much easier my life would become if I just was like, you know what, screw it. I will be the person that you want me to be. I knew that I wouldn't get shit from them anymore. I thought about all the benefits that would come from living a life of who they expected me to be. And I wondered if that would mean that I would finally be loved and accepted the way I wanted to. I wouldn't be judged anymore. And honestly, I was so tired of all the judgment. I was so tired of constantly being told that who I am just wasn't good enough. But then I started to realize something. That easy route I would take of denying myself of who I am would have led to me living a life that was a lie. Yeah, for a little bit I would feel somewhat better, but it would mean that I would have to sacrifice feeling truly and genuinely happy. And I realized that if becoming someone else was the only way the people that I loved would love me back, then I didn't want that. I wanted to be loved for me, because that would mean that I would live my life never really being loved for who I am, and instead only being loved for a mask that I was wearing. And I would have to keep that mask on in order to keep that toxic conditional love. That wasn't fair to me, because that's not actually someone loving me. That's someone conditionally loving an idea of me based on the expectations they placed on me. I didn't want that. And I had to make the really, really difficult decision to break away from those people. It broke my heart, because I still loved them and I still wanted to be loved by them, but I knew I would never truly be loved by them. I decided that in my life, I needed to stop giving people who didn't truly love me my time, and I needed to keep that time open for people who did truly love me. And I had to break away from people that never truly loved me for who I was to make room for people in the future who would. Now, I have to be completely honest with you, letting go of those people didn't take away from how much I loved them. I still loved them, and it hurt. Breaking away was not easy. It hurt. And to add on top of that, it was scary, because I wondered if I would ever truly find someone who would love me for me. But I knew I needed to take that chance. And my God, was it a painfully lonely journey to get from point A to point B. And sometimes it felt like I would never make it to point B. But eventually I did. See, I had to recognize that I deserved to be loved too. I didn't deserve this kind of one-sided love, and I didn't deserve to be judged like that. And sometimes a part of our self-love journey includes breaking away from people who don't truly love and accept us, even though it's really freaking painful to do. Living a life that is true to who I am was one of the best decisions I ever made. And now I am surrounded by people who love me for me, and it makes all the pain I went through so worth it. I get it. Getting from point A to point B is scary and it can be lonely. But I can tell you from my experience that there is no feeling that can ever replace being truly loved. And being true to yourself and loved for that person is such a beautiful feeling to have. I now know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be loved for who I am, and I'm here to tell you that you deserve that kind of love too, because who you are is a beautiful part of you, and a part that you shouldn't deny this world of. Thank you for taking the time and watching this video. If you have some extra time, I would love for you to check out my other videos on life's struggles. You might find them beneficial. I hope you have a beautiful day.